I'm back. So I've got a bit of power in my DJI. My mic is needs some power, so I've got some battery energy into it. And I'm sitting here doing some listings or revising, reworking listings. And I've been stuck in a category for about 3 weeks. I've coming to the end of it now. I've got a list of photographs that I've got to take, and I've got new products that I've created the listing for. I haven't listed them yet. I've got to add the pictures in, and I'm going to list them. But I'm also going to cancel or end the listings I've been working on that have been live for about 3 years, and I'm going to end them and sell similar. And I'm going to have a big bang in that category. My existing footprint will disappear, and I'll recreate those listings in a brand new version because they're almost pristine, and I'm going to list them all at the same time and make a big splash in that segment, which is curtain tapes, curtain accessories. I've been working away at it for quite some time, and I've been using the research tab to analyse what are the best players out there doing, because this is on the back of a phone call I had with an eBay fella a month, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks ago. Been a bit of an eye-opener. It really has. The title, the product that you're searching on, returns a list of eBay sellers that are selling the same or similar products, but it prioritizes the listings at the top of the list with those sellers who have achieved the highest volume of sales. And some of the sales that they're achieving are incredible, absolutely incredible. It's been a real eye-opener. I mean, I might have, say, 20 sales of a product over a 2 or 3 year period. They may have that listing going for a similar time, but they've got like 10, 15,000 sales. And they might have 3 or 4 versions of that same listing, just different photographs, different titles, or different shapes in which you can purchase that product. So, combined, they've got like 30, 40, 50,000 sales of one product. And I'm selling the same product. They're not getting it any cheaper than me, paying the same price. It's just that they are using a loss leader to, I suppose, keep that listing buoyant at the top of the search results, because it's cheap. The entry level price for the smallest shape, maybe 1 meter or 10 items, ensures that they keep it up to the top of the list because they've got frequent purchases. And whilst there might be busy fools picking and packing and sending stuff out without making a penny, they're not, in most cases, losing anything. However, because it's a multi-variation listing, they might have 2 or 20 or 50 items as a choice, 100 or even 250 or 1,000 even. They're getting those sales and they're making money on those bigger sales. Of course, there's no way of analysing what they're selling any further than what I've described. But you used to be able to see it. You used to have that visibility. Years ago, you could click on the actual sales, the link of the sales that they'd achieved, and it would show you all the individual sales that they made. That's no longer visible. So you can only assume that a portion of the sales are at break even, a small loss, but they're getting a significant portion of profitable sales as well. So I've structured my listings in a very similar way, and I've recreated some new listings where I've bundled 4 or 5 different products of the same category into the one listing, and I've gone in at keen prices, not greedy, but I'm definitely making a profit on them. Where they could buy 1 metre, I'm definitely going to lose, say, 20 or 30p. But so far, I haven't had anybody buy 1 metre. And I thought, well, if I just keep getting people buying 1 metre, 1 metre, 1 metre, I'll lose, 10 sales at 20p as a sale loss, I'll lose £2. But I'll restrict how much I can lose by restricting the amount of or items available in that listing, so I can control it. And I'll just keep my eye on it. But so far, they've been buying 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 metres. In some cases, whole boxes. But the beautiful thing is, on my own store, I hardly get any sales of curtain tape. I can't think of a sale of curtain tape over the last 2 or 3 years. But all of a sudden, I'm getting them there. People are coming into the store and they're making inquiries about curtain tapes. And I think it has everything to do with the brand new titles that I've put in place. A little bit of help from ChatGPT on the product description. The item specifics is a big one, and I've also been using the alt text on the photographs. It's AI generated on Shopify. So it's just click the photo, it cooks it for a second, and then it gives you a text, and you accept it, read it, accept it or edit it and save it. And then I've been going into the HS codes and the country of origin. I've been putting that in place as well on Shopify. And I'm convinced that these additional things that I've been doing that I don't normally do, well, I've never done, is stirring up the servers on both eBay and in Google. I think in Google, the spiders or the crawlers, they come out, grab the new information and take it back to their server. And that is helping it become available in the in the Google marketplace, the shopping facility that they've got. So it's still very early days. But along that journey, I've got kind of excited by that category. So I bought about another 6 or 7 additional new products that I've seen my competitors have got and I haven't. And I've ordered them. I should, in theory, well, in practice, I have more products available than them in those product types. But I think that the proof will be, or the success factor will be, ending the listing and selling similar, and then reconnecting that listing back onto Shopify. So I'm building up to that. I've actually come to the end of the exercise of reworking all the listing. I've just got new listings to create and photographs to take. So as soon as I go upstairs and take some photographing, I'm going to take a list with me of things I've got to do. Click away. One of the exciting things, on another matter, one of the exciting things that I've discovered is that I use Photoscape to edit my pictures. And some of you may remember I was talking about a new light box that I bought. Initially I was very excited by it, then disappointed, and I forgot why I was excited, because I was overridden by being disappointed in it. But I realised that while some people might get good results first time by taking a picture at the desk with the white background of the lights, there's one guy on eBay that does that. It's not on eBay, on Facebook groups. I still need to edit because of the type of products that I've got. Well, it's not because of the products, it's just because of my know-how, my knowledge. It's what I have to do. And I hit a little bit of a brick wall. I wanted to push Photoscape a little bit further, so I did some searches, some AI searches, and I saw a couple of videos, and I discovered something in there that's always been there, but I've never used. I've just overlooked it. It's called Cutout, and it's made a big difference to the speed and the quality of the pictures that I'm editing. The speed in which the time it takes to actually edit it, and the result that I'm achieving is better than I've ever got before. It's faster and better quality. And I've been playing around with it, going back over some old pictures that I took 10 years ago, and it's making them look ping. Very excited by that. So I want to do more of it. And when I put the whole exercise together and look at what I'm doing and what I feel as if I'm doing right, it goes back to using this research facility. Because the research facility, the research tab, for me, is exposing me to what eBay is saying by default, by displaying the results that they display as listings with best practice. Yeah, they have to have best practice in order for them to get the sales that they're getting. So when you go in and analyse them, you'll see that they employ the item specifics to its fullest. So I get several tabs open from all the different players that come in sort of the top 10. I keep that segment open on the listing in front of me with the item specifics, and I just first of all I make sure that I am in the right category, because those players that have those listings in a category have them all together in the same category. Some of them are using 2 categories, which is something I want to do, but they're in 1 or more category, and they're obviously in the right category because that's where they're getting the sales. So I start with the category, and then I move on to what options or item specifics that category is giving you as a choice. And by and large, I've got most of them fulfilled, but when it comes to something like the brand, I've always gone unbranded, but I've decided to put my own name in there, my own business name in. It's my brand, that's what I'm saying, because when the customer goes past the item specifics, the brand will appear in front of them, and I just want to see my brand. I don't want to see the word unbranded. There's a chance for me to put my name in front of them. So I'm doing that, selecting the obvious answers to the questions it's asking me. But the one thing that I'm doing, which I never really did before, is using, and I strongly recommend this for everybody else out there, is I'm using what do they call it? It's called here we go. It's the last option, and it's add a custom detail. And with that custom detail, it gives you 2 fields, 1 to put the title in and 2 to to put the answer in. And what I've noticed is that the top sellers are adding lots of additional items in there, and it tends to be around features and benefits or uses, what you can use it for, what is it suitable for, what's the benefit of that product. And the feature is the additional measurements or dimensions of the product that are relevant to the product you're selling. And when I've gone through everybody's listings and extracted the pieces of information that they are all or a few of them using, I incorporate them all into my listing, and I get a wonderful, wonderful item-specific segment. I mean, it's really, really full of very useful information. Information that should negate any question or concern or query that the buyer has. A query that they will often write to you about and ask you the question, which means you've got to go into dialogue mode with them, or they walk away because the listing doesn't give them the information. So I've been writing questions this morning to Google AI, and I said, one of the questions here, listen to these answers. I said, do custom item specifics make a difference on eBay listings? And its answer is this: yes, custom item specifics make a major positive difference on eBay listings by significantly increasing their visibility. In eBay's and external search engines research results, helping buyers find your items and improving buyer confidence, which can lead to higher sales and lower returns. Buyers rely on detailed item specifics for filtering and comparison, so providing complete and accurate information is essential for discoverability and can be a competitive advantage for your listings. Get that? Type the query yourself into your search bar on a browser, whatever browser you're using, and just see what answer it gives you. It might be Microsoft or Google or Apple or whoever. Mine is Google AI overview, and it goes on to say other things. It says, there's a deeper dive, if you like. It says, why item specifics matter: improved search rankings and visibility, increased exposure beyond eBay, better buyer experience, targeted buyers, competitive advantage. Good listing data is no longer a bonus. It's a crucial element that sets your listings apart and gives you an edge over the competition. So a lot of people don't use it, you see. I didn't. I've been doing it for 15 years and I don't use them. Future-proofing. This is another word. eBay's search algorithms continue to evolve to favour detailed listings, so filling out all available item specifics prepares your listing for future changes. Future-proof your listing. How to make the most of item specifics: be thorough, provide all available item specifics for your product category, even the ones that seem like they might not be important. Use keywords. Think about the terms buyers would use to find your items and ensure those terms are represented in your item specifics. Be accurate. Ensure the information you provide is complete and accurate, as this directly impacts buyer confidence and satisfaction. I've just thought of a few more bits of information I can put into one of my listings that I haven't put in the add custom detail. So I went on and asked a few more questions. What was this one? Oh yeah, does eBay control how much you achieve on overall sales per month, or a total number of sales made per month? You know, there's this thing about you seem to get the same sales value each month in, month out, same again, within a few £100s. It's the same as what you did the month before, or the month before that. And I always thought that the sales will be directly related to the number of listings that you've got. So I just kept on adding more and more listings. And when I got beyond about 600 listings, my sales didn't go up. I've doubled that now. I'm on about 1,230 listings. But my sales are still the same as what I used to do with 600 listings. I used to think, well, the average sales that I got per listing was about £20 a month. £20 a month. So it stood to reason that if I doubled the number of listings, I would double my sales. That was my logic I employed. It's not like that. But this is the answer. It says eBay controls how many sales you can make by imposing selling limits that are based on both the dollar amount of sales and the number of items listed per month. These limits are dynamic and reviewed monthly, with increases possible based on your sales volume, feedback from buyers, and adherence to eBay's seller standards. While eBay doesn't directly set a target, it does manage your overall sales per month and total number of sales made per month through these selling limits and the ongoing performance evaluation of your account. So if you've reached a plateau, I would suggest that you've reached a level of performance inside eBay's algorithm. So if you want to increase your sales, you've got to increase your performance inside the algorithm. Fewer negatives, fewer returns, things things like that, feedback from customers. So I started thinking, how am I going to get feedback from customers? And one girl inside Facebook suggested that, well, she didn't suggest, she said what she does is that after every sale, she sends the customer a coupon, 5% off your next purchase. I was impressed by that. I liked it because it's a feature that's there. It's been there for some time. It's not on my radar. I know it's there, but I haven't gone and explored it. I did try it once or twice. It's one of those things where you've got to sit down and you've got to be strategic and you've got to think about what you're going to do and you've got to invest some time in it, set it up. But once that piece of work's done, then it's set. You can automate it. So I've got to do that. But I asked it the question, I went on to the next question, and I said, is it worth sending a message to each buyer after a sale is made on eBay? Thanks very much. Hope to see you again. I really appreciate your business. Lovely to see you, whatever it is. But that means you have to go manual after everyone. I couldn't do it. But I was thinking about this voucher, and the answer was, sending a thank you message after an eBay sale can be a good practice for customer service and repeat business, but it's not always necessary and can sometimes be perceived as email overload by buyers who lead to unnecessary interactions. While a brief polite message confirming a shipment or a simple thank you can be beneficial, avoid sending excessive messages or expecting feedback in return, as these actions can be counterproductive and even result in negative feedback. Okay, I get it. You've got to find the balance. But what I want to do is set up an automated thank you with the voucher. So I went on and asked the next question, and the question was, is it worth sending a discount voucher to each buyer after a sale on eBay? Yes, it says. Sending discount vouchers to buyers after a sale on eBay can be worthwhile for encouraging repeat business and building customer loyalty, but it depends on your strategy and the potential impact on your margins. You can control the offer by setting terms like a minimum spend or an expiry date. You could do both, couldn't you? And you can target specific buyers or offer it to everyone who has purchased from you. I would do everyone. And I would say you get a 5% off if you spend £15 or more before the end of the month, something like that. That's what I would do, something like that. So I went on and asked another question, and I said, if I send a discount voucher to each buyer after a sale on eBay, do they override other discounts in place? Right, because you don't want to be given 5% on top of 10% on top of 15%. So they end up basically walking away with the product and you getting nothing, right? And it says, no, you cannot combine a discount you manually send to a buyer with other discounts already running, such as promotional fees or other sales. eBay automatically applies the best possible discount to the buyer's purchase, meaning they will receive either your coupon or the other discount, not both. So the buyer always benefits from the highest saving. So you could set up an automated coupon that goes out the door, gives them the minimum discount, 5% off your next purchase. Thank you very much for buying from me. It was lovely to see you. Your business is very much appreciated. Here's 5% off your next purchase, provided you spend £15 or more and you do it before the end of the month, otherwise it expires. Oh, it's not a discount, but it's a way of saying, it's a way of writing to them, and it's automated. So I'm going to explore that. Obviously, I don't want to bombard every repeat buyers with the same discount, because they're just going to look at it and go, it's a load of rubbish, you know what I mean? But I think you can select buyer groups, people in certain, by a purchase of certain categories. Got to explore it, but it's got to be something that you put your name in that customer's mind again, a second attempt. Another thing that's just come to mind is that the feedback that we get on the feedback scores, mine have jumped, they're more than doubled. I'm hovering around 900 a month, and I only used to get 300 or 400. In other words, where the customers aren't giving me feedback, eBay is, provided the item is delivered, it's giving the feedback score, not necessarily the comments, no comments, but it's recording the actual feedback as a successful delivery, which is great because it makes me feel like I'm performing a bit better than what I was. While I'm doing this research, using that research tab and looking at other listing, I'm also seeing the feedback comments that they're getting, and they're super positive. And I look at, and sometimes they're whole paragraphs. The customer sat there and taken the time out to type a bloody essay because they're happy to engage with that seller and give them feedback because they're delighted with some aspect of the service received. And I think it's the price. Because they're running loss leaders, Sprats to capture mackerel, they're getting these positive feedback results. I'm just getting one-liners. Yeah, well, it's a bootlace. What do you expect me to say? Thanks. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of why, because they're paying a higher price for it, and they're paying a higher price for it, and they're choosing to buy from me because the people they normally buy from are they're out of stock because they've sold out because they're selling thousands of them, but they normally get them from them at a cheaper price. So I'm hoping to improve my feedback as well by doing these things. So anyway, I just thought I'd just step in there and give you some information based on my latest discoveries and let you know where I'm feeling very positive at the moment. My sales are great. They're up 50% on where they were, 6 to 8 weeks ago. And 6 to 8 weeks ago, they'd been flat for 2.5, 3 years. So I'm energized. I'm really eBay. Thank you very, 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 very much. Really, it's definitely the seller clinic phone call that I had with the expert, with Donovan. That's basically give me the focus that I need. I've still got 2 phone calls left. I haven't really got round to using the listing quality report yet. That's still there for me to use, but I'm kind of like trying to rework a category at a time because I know I've got to rework that category because all my listings are poor quality, basically. So the problem with the listing quality report is that I've got like 1,200 poor quality listings on it. So no matter what I work on, it's going to make a difference. And I also one final thing to let you know. I basically got myself. I got it on TikTok. eBay, you should be selling these things. TikTok, they've got very useful products. I bought a stand to accommodate 4 screens, and it's made a big difference for me for my information flow. But this stand, I wanted to, it was on my radar 15, 20 years ago because buying and selling shares. I needed, initially 2 screens, and then I decided I wanted 4 screens. But in those days, this stand would probably cost you between £200 and £400 because it was a very niche product. And but this stand I ordered, it cost me £33 or £34 off TikTok, and the quality is incredible. It's amazing. I was expecting it to be a bit of tin, flimsy. It's not. It's solid and it's quality. It's a bit IKEA-ish in terms of your assembly, but it's quite simple. It's a simple assembly. And once I got it on, I got me 4 screens on there. I went and bought 2 new ones from Curry's. I had a little computer ready to go. The problem was with the new computer that I bought, it only had one HDMI. So I bought an adapter for a display port, but it wouldn't work. Couldn't understand why. And then I suddenly realised, I thought I'd take the adapter home and try it on the computer at home. And when I was at home, the same computer that I'd bought, but it's a slightly better spec, had 2 HDMI ports on it. So I just brought it down here and took my new one to the house. And now I've got the 4 screens. And yesterday, for the first time, I was able to basically log onto my stockbroking account, and I took a position in Lloyds, and I made 150 quid. Small little trade, but 150 quid, very useful profit for the day. No doubt if I held on Monday, Tuesday, it'll go up even more, because it fell, you see. It fell, and I had a quick read to see why it fallen, and it was a sector specific. Rachel Reeves was talking about grabbing profits from them, you know what I mean, on a windfall tax. So the sector took fright, and it came down about 5p, 6p, and I thought there's got to be a penny and a half in there for me. So I nipped in. I was down 600 at one point, and then it was up 150 just at the death, 429 just before the market closed. And I thought, right, thank you very much, I'll have that. 151 quid in the pocket, and that was good. So I'm hoping to do a few more of those trades as the weeks unfold, if she doesn't blimmin' steal the lot, old Rachel Reeves. But anyway, in the meantime, I can now log on to my second eBay account, and I can deal with the customer service there as it happens. I've got my other eBay account, I've got my Shopify store, I've got InkFrog, I've got YouTube, and I've got spreadsheets all over the place and everything on 4 screens, and it's great. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Check you later. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye.